No, it's obviously when you play T20 cricket, it's something that you sort of have to assess the wickets very early on. But look, we sort of had a game plan, and we sort of stuck with it. I think in hindsight, the Indians obviously saw how we bowled, so in hindsight they could obviously adjust to what we did. But in terms of our game plan, we backed it, whether it was wrong or right. But it's something that we truly believed in. If we were 4 down, I don't think we maybe would have spoken about the sort of change-ups and all of that. No, considering that I was quite a bit nervous, I think, I was glad that I don't even bowl in the power plays really for the Titans, and for me to, open the bowling was something new, and I was glad that I could control the ball. Maybe adrenaline got a little bit too much for me at stages, but I think overall it could have went better, but I'm sort of pleased that I could get a few wickets as well, so not too bad.
Just a follow-up about that, and we saw that.
Like obviously I watched the highlights. With the way Shika played that pull shot where the gloves were, I couldn't. My sight was blinded, so when the umpire called the wide, I sort of went with that call. I couldn't really see the glove from where I delivered the ball. So, again, in hindsight, had I appealed there, it's a different story. They would be probably 50 or 40 for 3 and under a lot of pressure. So yeah.
What happened there?
Oh no, it's a bit of adrenaline, and it's probably the biggest crowd I've played under, and it was very noisy. So I genuinely didn't hear that, and thankfully Classy behind the stumps was alert to that. Look, I think with any game plan, if you don't execute well, it always looks a bit bad. I think as bowlers, the one thing that we were after the game is we were honest with each other. We had a sort of game plan, but perhaps we didn't execute enough on that game plan. So yeah, I think it boils down to the execution. Maybe we didn't execute that well. No, definitely. We've assessed that we're gonna go in with a game plan, but I think we need to be a little bit more proactive. That's the only thing that I would probably change. We'd have a game plan, but maybe just proactive as opposed to being reactive to that. So, and not being predictable, obviously. No, I think fielding is a personal pride thing. The coaches can only give us the tools, and it's obviously how you handle the pressure on the day. I don't think we actually placed too much emphasis on the outfielding. It was more of a fun drill that we did. Maybe from the outside it looked like we were emphasizing on the outfielding, but it was more of a fun drill that we were doing. So, I think our fielding, is in a good place. It's just maybe the intensity is what needs to sort of pick up. We need to pick up come tomorrow.
Yes, good. Experience up front?
No, look, I think that's something that the coaching staff have to decide. But I think at the end of the day, whether myself or Pat open the bowling, if JP has faith in us and confidence in us, that's all we sort of need. Maybe, execute, like I say, just need to be more proactive. I mean, if in the first 3 overs there's a lot of cut balls or pull balls, maybe we can change it up a lot sooner. That's the only thing that I could think of. Yeah, I think, India's played very good cricket. I think, had we bowled the way we did and won the game on Sunday, would we still be having the same conversation? So I think we're not too far away. We can turn this around tomorrow, and if we win on Sunday, everyone will say it was actually a good tour for South Africa. We won the tour 2-1. So yeah.
Environments.
No, for me, especially this season, it means the most to me because after that whole SAA tour, I thought I had a very good SAA tour, and I always felt that I was a few maybe franchise performances away from actually cracking a nod after that SAA series, and with the injuries and all of that, I'm glad that I could come back from that, and with the stress fracture, do well in the Ram Slam. I think the first half bit of the momentum before I got the groin tear, I did reasonably well. So, I was just pleased that I can at least overcome injury and still be close to my best when I do play.
Yes, Harry.
possibly not that difficult, but I think T20 cricket, it happens so quickly that it's very, often it's very difficult to convey a message or communicate. So that's maybe something we can improve on, but it happens so quickly, and we are a young side, and maybe we get caught up in the moment. So it's something we can improve on, but in terms of game plan, I don't. Yeah, you're hopping on about the game plan, but we can just improve on the communication and execution. That's all I can really say to that game plan. From outside views, it might have looked poor or whatever you may call it, but execution is what it boils down to. I don't necessarily think the game plan. Yeah, no. I think someone like Pato, I think he bowled brilliantly at the death. Maury as well. I think if we can maybe, apart from that first 6 overs, I think outside the power plays, if we can just sharpen up and restrict or try to bring the run rate down between say over 7 and 11, that will put us in good stead. But we did take a lot of confidence in the fact that India looked like they were going to score about 240, and to restrict them to 200, that actually gave the batting unit quite a bit of confidence to chase that score on that wicket.